What obvious thing did you recently realize? That birds don't live in nests. Nests are just where they keep their eggs. Birds just sleep in trees. All birds? Pretty much, yes. Even ground birds like chickens and quail will roost in trees when they aren't setting eggs. It's been interesting getting used to turkeys staring down on me from trees. My grandson just figured out I am his mother's mother. He just can't understand why I tell him we have to ask his mom to do some things. Why can't I just tell his mom we are going to do something? I am her mom, therefore her boss. That's so cute. Reminds me of when my younger niece realized that her half-sister, who does not live with her, was her sister too. Just like my older niece is her sister. She was amazed. She told me I saw Daddy and Kay yesterday. We had so much fun. Did you know that Kay is my sister? About a decade ago, I bought a Logitech Wave keyboard and mouse combo. Absolutely loved them, used them both until they wore completely out, which took a very long time. Used some other stuff for a while, and recently decided to replace them with another Wave set. They were exactly the same, except for one small thing: the scroll wheel on the mouse worked differently. It spun freely, rather than doing the soft ratcheting that I was used to. It wasn't a huge deal. In fact, scrolling through places like Reddit was much easier. I could just spin it and let it fly. But it's for things that required precision, like swapping weapons in video games. I've been putting up with it for like a month, and just today I realized that the button below the scroll wheel isn't just a middle mouse button. It switched the scroll wheel from soft click to free spin modes. I had no idea, and it's made my whole day. The free spin is like half the reason I use only Logitech mice. Growing up, my grandparents religiously had a 3 p.m. Pepsi time. Like tea time, I guess, but with Pepsi. Every time we were over there, it happened. We all enjoyed a crisp, fizzy, cold Pepsi. At 43 years old, I was telling that story this week, when I suddenly realized theirs were most likely spiked. I'm older than you, and I only discovered day drinking during the pandemic. And then I figured out that way more people than I would have guessed have probably been day drinking or taking something during the day way before the pandemic. I've just been out here white-knuckling life every day. Even after hitting rock bottom, you can still keep digging. Turns out rock bottom has a basement. Soft drinks are called soft drinks because they don't contain alcohol. Hard drinks do. I used to think soft drinks only meant carbonated drinks because they felt soft and fizzy on your tongue. Then I saw it on a canister of Kool-Aid and it clicked. Have been bartending for 16 years and learned this right now. That boxer shorts are the style of shorts that boxers wear. This one made me snort. When getting an eye exam, you are asked which looks better, 1 or 2. If they are identical or too close to call, you have a third option. The same. They never told me that. Ugh, I hate eye exams even with that option. Always feel like me actually getting good glasses is down to my snap decision making, not my best quality. Pipe cleaners aren't just for arts and crafts. They're also for cleaning pipes. I'm 35 and oh so ashamed of myself. When I was a kid I always wondered why they called them pipe cleaners, because the only pipes I'd ever seen were way bigger than them, household drain pipes etc., and thought it was stupid to make them so small. I was in my 30s when I found out they were for tobacco pipes. Stripper poles rotate and are not fixed. I always just assumed the dancers spun around the fixed pole through incredible body strength. There are both kinds actually, fixed and rotating. Kinda like the Logitech mouse. 2020 wasn't 2 months ago. Oh gosh, it's been squints 3 years. Couldn't be. 3, maybe 5 max years ago was the 2000s. You do not have to make the entire box of pasta all at once. That can't be right. Who else came here just to learn how much in the world is supposedly obvious, but that they themselves have never known. Ulmau. Eminem calls himself Eminem because his name is Marshall Mathers. He was also required to spell it out prior to a record deal so he didn't get sued by M&M's. I spend too much time choosing to be negative when I could really be happy. After a vacation I had a major attitude adjustment and applied to school in the town I visited. Suddenly debt doesn't depress me, cause I'm accumulating it for reasons I know are worth it. In the past few weeks I've journaled mostly optimistic things, and today I realized I had spent over half of the journal talking myself into a deeper hole. I can't unwrite it now, but that just makes me value the pages I have left so much more. I don't want my life to be a journal full of sad thoughts. I want to be happy. That when a cat comes running up to me when I'm out for a walk, they are seeing me with the same excitement and novelty as I'm seeing them. That realization really made my day. My cat gets so happy when people walking by pay attention to him. I'm tempted to put a little picket sign out that says my name is Bob. I love attention. Please say hi. You should. I don't know any of the neighborhood cats' names, but my husband and I have descriptive nicknames for them all. We'd be happy to call them by their given names. That the phase bottom of the hour means 30 minutes past the hour because the hand is at the bottom of the clock. Wow, I think I just figured out what top of the hour means. Will Smith and Jada Smith name their kids after themselves? Jaden Smith and Willow Smith. Why I never put that together is beyond me. That my glasses were on the top of my head the whole time I was looking for them. I've looked for my phone while I was talking on it before, so you're not the only absent-minded person here. That the pilgrims from the American Thanksgiving were called pilgrims because they were on a pilgrimage of sorts. It took me seeing a news report while I was in Portugal last November and I said to my wife, "Oh, you use the same word for pilgrims and pilgrims like we do in English." Yes, she replied, because they were pilgrims on a pilgrimage. Edit, I just assumed it was a quirk of language that the two words pilgrim were spelled the same. Pilgrim isn't a word you hear often used to talk about people making pilgrimage, so even as an English person, I heard the word far more often as a reference to the Thanksgiving story than a piece of religious language. I can actually do certain things differently than I've been doing my whole life, and often the new way is better. Most important lesson I ever learned, was to ask, is this the best way to do this or just the way it's always been done? It pisses off my older colleagues no end when I question their ways, but I've vastly improved so many things in my life by asking it. That there is no cheese in Chinese restaurant menus. As in, Chinese don't eat cheese. Discovered this a month ago. Whoa. Nor cream or butter. One reason why my Asian friends complain that American food is so heavy. I realized that you have to act to fall asleep to literally fall asleep. I have to tell myself a story. My mind slowly drifts off, then my imagination takes the rest and I pass out. This is after staring at the ceiling for 2 hours, of course. It's literally fake it till you make it. Birds don't pee. That's why their poo is liquid. Birds do pee. That's why their poop is liquid. It's both. I misread this as it's broth, which, I guess, is also true, but very upsetting. That worms don't come onto the sidewalks when it rains because the wet concrete is irresistible to their squishy bodies. It's because they're drowning in the grass. This was a few years ago, but at that time, I had a master's degree and was walking into my full-time engineering job. A bunch of worms on the sidewalk outside my building and a no light bulb that clicked on in my head. Edit, I stand corrected. Turns out, worms are totally chill with being in water for a while. And science is generally undecided as to why they come out of the soil when it rains. The more you know. When there's no sidewalk, worms will crawl up onto logs and climb plants to get out of flooding soil. It's neat to watch for if you ever find yourself walking in the woods in the rain. What? I've always felt sorry for their shit sense of direction and put them back in the grass. Sorry worms. Cows only produce milk because they are mothers. I mean, I genuinely just thought cows made milk all the time until not that long ago. They have to have babies and have a 9-month pregnancy just like humans. Then we take their milk from their babies. The number of human males who think human females make milk constantly regardless of reproductive status is too damn high. On top of that, there are many men who think that women who have large breasts because those breasts are full of milk. If you like this video, you can subscribe. We'll be glad to see you here.